What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and I mentioned this on Twitter or X the other day, but for the last few days, word has been floating around that the list is going to be released soon. Come on. You know what list I am talking about. The list. The client list. A list that I thought would never, ever be released. So naturally, I was skeptical when these rumors started spreading around. But now, they're openly talking about it on the mainstream media and everything. And honestly, it looks like it might happen. But just like I said on Twitter or X, I'll believe it when I see it. It sounds too good to be true. And my question is this. Are you just going to release this list and do nothing about it? Like, are you just going to release all of these names to the public, but you're not going to arrest anyone? There's not going to be any investigations? What do you want people to do with this information? Now, don't get me wrong. I want the list released. But I just want to know, is there going to be anything done behind this? Or are they just going to drop this on us almost in a way, if you think about it, to demoralize us? We have to sit here, have it 100% confirmed that the most rich and powerful people running our country, running our world, were all involved in some pretty messed up stuff, but they'll never be held accountable because they're above the law. But if you say something out of line, if you say something out of pocket about it, they'll kick you off social media. They'll hold you to totally different standards. You'll be arrested for this, you'll be arrested for that. And you'll just have to live your life knowing that the people running this country, the people running that country and that country, you know, the famous actors, the famous musicians, they were all doing some really messed up stuff on weird little islands in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, this is honestly a bombshell. And when this drops, there's no telling what's coming next. We all knew that 2024 was going to be a wild year. A wild year. It's going to be crazy. But imagine kicking off 2024 with the freaking client list. I don't know where we go from there. So that's my question. I don't know. I just have a lot of questions about this and the motives behind releasing this list at the time that they're releasing it. But before I go into any of that, make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Hit that like button. We got to get those likes up. I'm about to roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Well, in just over 10 days, the names of dozens of people associated with disgraced financial tycoon Jeffrey Epstein will be released.
A judge ruling on that on Tuesday that many of these names are already public. For others named in court documents, the judge says they're not salacious and should not be kept sealed. Our Dre Clark is live in New York City this morning with more on this ruling. Dre.
Yeah, good morning. We're here outside the federal courthouse here in Lower Manhattan, and this is where Judge Loretta Preska has ordered that January 1st release date of more than 170 names associated with a civil lawsuit that was settled some time ago here. But many of those names that will be released are Jeffrey Epstein's close friends, associates, and some of his victims. Now, the judge is also allowing those individuals who would like to keep their names concealed or redacted to file an appeal to make their case before the release of those names in less than 2 weeks. Now, many of those names that will come out certainly are known and notable, including former presidents, but they are all part of a now settled civil lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell brought by Virginia Giuffre. Now, Giuffre accused Maxwell of helping Epstein abuse travel plans, along with setting up meeting times and places around the world to facilitate Maxwell is now serving 20 years in a federal prison after she was convicted in 2021 for her role in a scheme teenage girls with Epstein over a 10-year period. Now, Epstein died in 2019 while awaiting trial. Also noting in her order that some of the names that will be released have already been revealed because some of those individuals have spoken publicly about their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, at least 11 names will not be released, including 8 people who have been identified as minor victims. Criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Josh Schiffer talked about why some people are desperately fighting to have their names redacted.
So there's a lot of reasons someone wouldn't want their name associated with someone whose name is literally everything bad in high society and regular society, for that matter. So if you were someone of particular current, relevant importance, think someone big in finance, think someone big in politics. Jeffrey Epstein knew everyone. When you said earlier he palled around with royalty.
Now, Virginia Giuffre also has accused Britain's Prince Andrew when she was 17 years old. Epstein, both Prince Andrew and Epstein were very known associates. Now, Prince Andrew has denied those claims. However, he did agree to pay Giuffre a multi-million-dollar settlement. Adrian.
All right. Thank you very much for your
report.
report.
I hate to be that guy, because I want nothing more than this list to be released. But like I was saying at the beginning of this video, it almost feels too good to be true. And I'm wondering what the motive is. Why now? I just honestly feel like the powers that be would not allow this list to be released unless they were going to put their own spin on it, unless they figured out a way for it to work in their benefit. I already know for a fact that I believe they mentioned that there's already about a dozen names that we know of that have been redacted. So right there, we already got names being pulled off the list. I'm wondering who those names are. They're probably going to pull the most important names off the list. And then, I mean, let's just go ahead and take it there. I question, are we going to get the real list? Are we going to get the real client list? Because for all we know, they may make a fake list to frame a bunch of people who they don't like and a bunch of their enemies and put out the list just to throw dirt on a lot of people's names who really weren't involved at all. We don't know. That's all I'm saying. And I just can't help but question things a little bit, because questioning things is what got us here. You know what I mean? Let's not forget the type of people that we're dealing with. We're dealing with the type of people who would end up on this list. And I can guarantee you they would do anything to make sure that this information doesn't get out there. And the fact that this information may be getting out there, I just feel like there's going to be a spin on things, or they figured out some way to make this work in their benefit. Or who knows, maybe this, like I said earlier, is a humiliation tactic. Hey, all the information out there, all the information is public. You can't do anything about it. We're going to continue running politics, running your government, running your country, running the world. F you. Who cares what we did on the Epstein? Oh, who cares what we did on the island? On the island. But yeah. And then another thing, if this is real, and if this is really happening, and the real list is coming, I think some people may be getting knocked off soon. I'm just thinking that there may be some wild things going on leading up to the release of this list. Anyone involved with this, I hope they are being extremely, extremely careful. But as I said earlier, this is supposedly, if we're to believe it, this is how we're going to be kicking off 2024. Where do we go from there? If we start off 2024 with this list, where in the hell do we go from there? All hell is fixing to break loose. It is going to be one wild ride. Go ahead and get your seatbelts on. We only have a few days left in 2023, and it looks like we're going to bring in 2024 with a bang. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. If you're feeling generous, you can send a super thanks, or you can donate to the channel directly via Cash App. I will have my Cash App in the pinned comment of this video. But make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and all of that good stuff is totally free, and it helps the channel a lot. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.